Why, hello everyone, it's GleeCon and I'm here again. I almost forgot to hit record. We are, geez Louise. We're going to be kicking off an episode of Warcraft tonight. This is the long playthrough we've been doing. We do everything in the world of Warcraft on this game. We do every bit of lore, and we play through everything. We've been doing a sorry, I have to answer this. Okay. So, this guy right here, basically, I have been trying for over an hour to get a group, and I could not get one. And finally, some guy's like, okay, I will carry this. And so I have to, and he's like, go, go, go. I have a very limited amount of time, blah, blah, blah. So I'm basically going to just pander to this guy. Whatever they want, this is what we need. We've already done this run before with a real group, and we have there's not a lot of quests. We did all the quests in the past couple episodes. Stay a while and listen if you can catch up. I'm going to really try. Towards the end of this episode, I should be able to take my time a little bit more and talk about what we're seeing, what we're doing right now. And right now, since we're just following a bear druid that's going to carry, I'm going to just sort of kind of talk it out as we go. Right now, we've entered the cave. We explored this extensively in the past 1 to 2 episodes. We even got back here on our own and did a suicide run back into the actual dungeon itself. So refer to those videos if you want some explanation about what's going on. But this is the exterior excavation site for Uldaman itself. And this takes us into Uldaman proper. I only need one quest. And this quest is the one where we have to find the 3 gems and then find the power source. Okay, so the 3 gems are to the bottom down here. So we don't need to kill Ionara, but we certainly can kill Ionara. Certainly fine. Okay. Okay, boom. I'm gonna go all offense on this beast here. Actually, I should do life. Okay, and I'll go ahead and keep this on myself just in case, as well as this weapon. And so right now this bear druid is pulling all of these trogs in the first. It's like a figure 8. You can go down either side passage if you're not doing a full ridiculous clear. You don't need both. As you saw, there was about 5 or 6 trogs there. And this brings you into this center chamber. Nothing special about it. There is just regular trogs. It's all cool. And this is a weird kind of it's a weird, like, basically a previous temple that, or whatever, these research sites, they're kind of this weird mixture of, like, ancient, archaic stuff combined with, like a higher advanced technology. So it's kind of cool, the way that they do these things. And this is a little non-elite, these little ambush. No, actually it is an elite. That was an oracle. But there are non-elites too. Ooh, a 15-point glove. No, that's mine's better on that. Alright, so we need to go down in this chamber right here is the first part of the dwarfs. Okay. So he's going to get all these. He's just pulling big packs, basically. Okay, and I'm just gonna help assist with my 3. I mean, I guess I could put these little fire totems up there too. Okay. Oops. All right, so this a little more. We're going, this is where the dwarves are. And there's a few things that you can get from the dwarves. So first of all, we'll go around. Guys will come fight. That's all fine and cool. So he's got himself a nice little pack of things. Probably get this off here. Just keep it going. I will... guess, yeah, I'm just going to keep my eyes open. It's kind of hectic, of course, when you're getting a carry, but this is a little bit less hectic than maybe some other carries could be. Actually got hit a couple times. Cool, and I think we're getting hit by magma totems more than anything else. Okay, so up here, there, we don't want those... we need this thing right here. So this, we can read this journal, but this is where we get the staff. Okay, so that's the medallion. That's the top part of the staff. And I guess we can fight these three guys. If we are... since we are... Horde, you got some precision arrows. I don't need that. I mean, I guess I could have greeted it. Yeah, I should have just greeted it. Cool. And those are the three guys also that we talked about. We could read that another time. That's a 14 leather boots. That's about the same too. Oh, let's see the other guy. Oh, there he is. They actually drop pretty cool gear. They're almost like bosses. Okay. All right. So this is where. Okay. The vase back here is what I need. This is our first gem. Okay. So that's the first piece. There you go. I got the topaz. Okay, we can drop a little bit of damage. And that is good because this puts us in like a, hey, we've got 1/4 of the dungeon done. Really, that's what we really needed. We also have Ionara that we have opened up. They said that they can only give us an hour. That was what the dude said, or she. I don't know anything about them. I'm worried about 10 minutes. Okay, so now the second piece is found right here. This person, I think they're found right there on the other side up here. This guy. Ravalosh. He has the shaft. Okay, and I just have to hope that I can loot Ravalosh so I can get the staff. That's a 20 attack power. That's going to be agreed. I think I've actually had something similar. I don't know if we can get the hidden chamber part of them. Nobody got... He had Oil of Olaf. That's kind of cool. Okay, so... I did not get the stupid haft. Okay, so I will go ahead and heal his poison. But we need the haft in order to... Yeah. Yeah, he must have... This guy must have had to loot it, and he probably just didn't even loot it. Maybe him? And then I will... I can open this now to create the thing for the boss. And we can open it up for Ionara. He's over there fighting, which is fine. And I can now stick this Staff of Prehistoria in. We're going to open up this. Oops, that was my bad. I pulled the wrong thing. That was my bad. And I could probably heal if I want. We're already getting, like, a little bit wild on my loot, actually. I feel like... Okay. Alright, so now that he's got that, I'm going to go ahead... Whoa, that's kind of neat. This is a 19 hammer that does 26.7. Not even close. Alright, so this is going to open up her thing. I can heal him in just a second. Oh, now it gave me that Find the Gems piece. Now, this is a 16 male shoulder. Mine is better. Okay, I'm going to toss some of this stuff. Alright, so here we go. I'm going to drop these totems. Just keep it rolling. This time I'll drop a... So this is Ionara. We do not need this boss as a horde. Nothing special. You can go in there if you want. But no particular need. She just says none may steal the secrets of the makers. Okay. I'll go ahead and hit her with a little bit here. Should probably reopen this too. Perfect. Now that is a 14 bracers that's male. Mine's a 13. Intellect and spirit. I'm going to go ahead and need that. Okay. So we don't need that part anymore. That's actually pretty good. Pretty good healing bracers. Okay, now we do have one other person that wasn't there in time, and they're supposed to be stealthing their way in. Alright, so now as we get in here, this is more... just junk. I could skin these guys, I guess, if I wanted to, but no worries. I don't care. I'll skin what I can. Medium leather, who needs that? And some mystery meat. Okay, so he's following along. Did get a heavy hide. I think that's actually useful. Okay. Alright, so he's getting poisoned by these dudes, but it's all good. Yeah, this is kind of a silly little way. Now, there is a boss down to the south. He is... I mean, this other guy's just, I guess, coming for some free XP at this point. Okay, so this is another... These are some Dark Iron Dwarfs. I think there is a dude here. There's that Golem. Obsidian Sentinel. I don't think we actually need him. I think this is all Horde stuff. I don't think there's anybody here that... There's Dark Mushroom Caps right there. Yeah, I don't really think there's anything extremely necessary here. Maybe you can get in that door and that's what it is. Maybe there's a boss there. Really can't remember. Yeah, so he breaks into these little pieces, these little babies. There we go. There's that guy coming from behind. Our other druid, so now he gets some too. I feel a little bad that he... Oh my gosh. Do we need this? I don't need solid stone. Oh, that's the back door. So we do not need that. All right, what else can I toss here? I can toss this for sure. Probably actually now that I have this person, they gave me conjured water. I probably don't need that anymore. So I'm not worried about that. I do have one wild vine. Alright, so here we go. Okay. What else can I toss? I could toss the one wild vine if needed. Yeah, now we're playing the game here, the inventory game. You know I love that game. Play it all the time. Wild vine is actually kind of needed. Yeah, these are just silly things right here. I mean, I got the swiftness potion. That's kind of funny, too. Don't necessarily need that. I could drop some of these scorpid legs. There he goes. He's back to doing that again. Where we're at. We're about 20 minutes. Okay. Yikes. Oh my gosh. I'm going to have to get rid of the scorpid leg. Okay. He's already heading off that way. It's fine. I don't know what I'm going to do with this scorpid scale. Okay. So this is just a dude. What else? I guess I'm going to get rid of this small bat skull. So here is another boss in here. There's the stone. We don't need that, but there is a vase somewhere in here. Pretty sure. Yikes. I'm trying to decide what I really need to get rid of here. Okay. Yeah, see, it says they barricaded themselves back up in here. That's a one-handed mace, so I don't care. Another spike. Oh, lag. I think he's talking about lag spikes. Okay. I don't remember where the other thing's at. There it is. I was gonna say I could have sworn there was one in this room. Okay, so I got the ruby. This is such a this one's such an annoying quest to do. All right, would I rather throw out the one wild? I'm gonna throw the wild vine out. It's not that hard to get them once we start playing at Stranglethorn. And to be frank, we're gonna need a lot more space. I think it's time for me. I had a stack of light leather somewhere. Okay. That's the boss down there. Yikes, 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 yikes. Okay. What else can I get? I guess I can get rid of these bat hearts. And small scorpid claws. I can get rid of that single medium leather too. It's not worth holding on to. Alright, now I can keep that open. So this is another one of the bosses. Galgan Firehammer, Dark Iron Dwarf. Don't really know what this dude's doing. Okay. Those bracers I don't need. One-handed hammer, I don't need either one of those. Okay. Alright, cool. So we don't need any of that. That would be where the other stone is. If I wanted. So we're killing a few more trogs as we get ready to go into the last little area. Okay. All right. So that's actually pretty good AoE DPS. Kind of cool. I don't think I've really utilized this totem very much, but in this particular situation, that's great. I could even see, if you were a tank man, really getting that going on there. Okay, so we're killing these last little bitties of trogs over here. And it's going, I mean, it's going as well as you could expect. This was really my hope. Once it took like an hour and a half and I was getting no bites. And I mean, I was doing everything. Humor, spamming. I had a group, started as 2, ended up working its way up to 4 at one point, dropped back down, worked its way back up to 4. And then I was back down to 3 and just getting bummed. Like, what is going to happen here? And that was when this guy was like, I'll carry you. Get there right now. And thank goodness that they did. So thank you, Saris, out there in the world. You have helped us. Nothing pleases me more that we can get this done. I wasn't sure. I was actually very worried, too, because I've had a extremely slammed week this week. And I don't think any of my other days, until maybe the weekend, were going to be conducive to running a dungeon. And the fact that not only are we running it, but like, we're getting a carry, which is ensuring that we're doing it quite fast. We are like about 3/4 of the way through the dungeon, maybe 80%. I need this back in here. Yeah, so we do need this little area back in here. And, I mean, I can drop this again if I want, but there is Grimlock over there. Yeah, he's the king, he says. Okay, so me Grimlock King is running his shop over here, but he has the final piece of the necklace. Then we're just gonna need the oh great, I'm tiny. Me tiny. We're just gonna need the power thing. This is a 25 leather pants, so I'm gonna greed on that. Everybody keeps passing, that's part of it too. Nobody in the, they must be tough on inventory also. We have one more spot, I'm gonna need more. I don't know if I want this scorpion scale. Okay, cool. I guess I'm gonna sell those bright baubles. It's not worth hanging onto them for the 2 silver or whatever we spent on them. So that gives me 2 inventory spots. And now all we need is the power source, which we get from the final boss. Okay, so now we're making our way through there. And the final boss is right around this corner, so we're quite close. Alright. Alright, maybe I'm going to hit this guy with... He's pulling him over there. I don't even know what I'm doing anymore, just wasting mana left and right. Okay. I'm trying to pull some DPS with that Magna Totem. Actually, I think it's pretty good. It's pretty useful. I did not realize at all that it was as good as this. I don't know why. When you get big stacks like this is dope. I just would have... And he's holding threat fine. Like, I'm not even pulling threat, so... I'm going to start using this a lot more in dungeons. On my own, I don't ever want to have that many guys around me like that, so... Alright, here we go. We're rounding the bend to the last part of the dungeon. Okay, cool. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and drop a defensive totem on him again. I think that one worked a little bit better when I did that. Thought it worked pretty good. Yeah, I think that's pretty juicy. Pretty juicy, bro. Yeah, let me get some heals on him too. That's pretty good. And we have, I mean, we're both druids. That's cloth. I don't care about that. Okay, we got all this juicy frog action. All right, Hall of the Crafters. Now we're getting right into the front of the business. Okay. And here we go again. I mean, I'm standing there getting rocked a little bit too. Okay, cool. I guess when they're doing that claw, I don't know what you do. Does claw eventually spread to more than 3? Because otherwise, this dude is like really good at this dude's really good at switching around the threat and all that stuff. Okie dokie, I'm gonna go ahead and reapply some of my buffs too. I don't need a drink because we'll be fine either way. Alright, so we're getting near the end. There's 2 bosses. This construct is kind of the penultimate boss. I think we need this bloodstained journal. It says we do. I'm too scared to drop it for now. What else could we drop? I guess I could drop this restorative potion. I have the swiftness potion. I don't mind dropping. Oh, let's drop these spine bat wings. That's a good one. You just have to contain so much. Alright, so here's where you actually start to fight the earthen. Kind of cool. Okay, so not sure exactly what he's going to do with this. Ow. Got a mana potion. Okay, good. That did not take up an inventory spot. That is leather bracers. Okay, that's the other part. I'm getting these greed drops. There we go. Okay, I'm down to 2 spaces. So first we're clearing out the room. This is just about it. So maybe it looks like he's going to fight them in 3 packs. And we're getting a little bit strong. These are 45s, so this is definitely... I mean, I'm level 46. I'm not like... In some of the instances I've come in and I've been like, oh, I'm way OP to be doing this dungeon. Oh, and I just leveled up. Sweet. No sooner have I said this. So we'll take care of me leveling up as we travel after this dungeon also. Okay, cool. Alright. Is he going to activate? Or are we going to fight that other batch over there? That's pretty cool, though, that I did get that. I'm now going to go down for Title Mastery. The crit chance of my healing is going up, and we're going to be playing that for 5 levels. Okay, we're in some kind of storm. Oh, that's him. He's... I don't know. What is he casting? Is that a spec? He's lower level than me, and he's casting some kind of storm. I don't need that. I don't need it. But I want it anyway. Alright, now I'm going to drop the smooth stone chip. I guess I'll drop... I'm dropping the Scorpion Stale. The guy said he doesn't even remember this encounter. Okay, so I'm gonna go all offense. And basically you just kind of back off of them. When they die like that, that's the whole secret to the... That's the whole secret to the thing. Nothing special here. Oh, I see you, Slurp. I just got a banana bread and a belt, both of which I gotta trash. Okay. I mean, this guy's killing him fast enough that... I can basically start with the flame shock and it'll pretty much die before the flame shock. Like, the flame shock just wore off and he just now died. Alright, so we got the 4 stone keepers. Got a bunch of stone chips. And now we are working our way to the final boss. Excellent. Okay. And here we go. I really want to keep this hide. If I have to drop it, I can drop that mystery meat. I guess I could drop those flash bombs if I need. I could start dropping some greenies if I need. That thick Murloc scale is single. What am I gonna do with freaking? I actually want that moonberry juice. That's like the sweet nectar of the gods. Jeez Louise. Alright. That staff probably sells for more than that other stuff. Okay. Yikes. Alright, mystery meat's gone. Okay, I need one more thing to be safe to drop. I think I gotta drop the single thick Murloc scale that I'm carrying around. And when am I realistically going to actually use it? All those stupid stones. I don't need those. I'm just wasting them. Think how many people farm solid stones and I'm just throwing them away like trash. Just treating them like trash. Now, we are going to be very slow on the final thing. I hope it will work. I'm going to take my time for the Discs of Norganon. Okay. Alright, so this is just about the last pack, and of course with this dude, we do not have to do any special pulling and taking it to the other floor. This guy's fine. I don't know what I just ended up pulling. Didn't pop up in my inventory, so... I like that we're 47. We don't have to train. More banana bread. Don't need that. Oh yeah, I need to keep room for the Discs of Norganon also. Yeah, they get ads? Yes. So this is the final boss here, and then all these guys will come. So as he breaks free from his stone slumber. Okay, so we're going to go here on the best and brightest. I'm going to go for all my stuff. Now, this guy should be killing him fast enough that... See that guy, there's an ad right there that just popped out. See, they do pop off. Okay, here you go. So now we're going to get on full ad mode. They are coming. But all of our... There we go. Okay, so now I'm pulling magma totems on them all. My mana's still fine. We're getting there. Getting pretty low. Okay, this is where the... Okay, so now we need to drop a couple extra things here. That needs to get back out. Go for the stronger tank, but... So normally if you're going to blitz this guy, you want to try to get to him before these stupid golems arrive. This is a two-handed... Oh my gosh. That is a need. That is a dope sword, a hammer. I did not get it. Or maybe they just haven't. There you go, I did get it. Okay. Alright. Oh, there you took it. Alright, so this is a bind on equipped. Okay, so it says this. We're going to go through... Okay, so he's going to do that. I think we can do it even though he's there. Okay, so let's look at the actual name of the quest, first of all. So it says, the platinum discs. The centerpieces of this treasure chamber are 4 huge platinum discs, each adorned with numerous sigils of an unknown origin. Touching them makes your hand tingle. Just after touching the discs, the visage of a large stone watcher springs forth. Salutations. I am a keeper of knowledge. The creator's synthesis of the earthen has been chronicled and stored here for this world in the discs of Norganon. You've uncovered a wealth of previously undiscovered worldly lore. Okay, and for whatever reason, they treat that like a disc, or like an event. But once it starts, this guy's summoned and you can talk to him. Salutations. My function is to offer access to, and when permissible, insight into information regarding the creator's synthesis of the earthen on the world designated as Azeroth. I'm ready to share this information with you now at your leisure. Who are the earthen? The earthen are a synthesized race engineered by the creators, functioning as one of the seed races in the initial population of the world designated as Azeroth. The earthen were created to aid the creators' efforts in shaping the deep regions of this world. Okay, so they're a seed race. So there are certain races that are considered seed races, and the earthen are the ones that were designed to help basically dig out the world, these bases. They are a modification of the standard subterranean being matrix used on other worlds that the creators have seeded. The construction of this prototype race created various anomalies that were observed after initial synthesis. What is a subterranean being matrix? It is one of the synthesis matrices the creators use when seeding a world. Each synthesis matrix is used to achieve the creator's goals. For Azeroth, a subterranean being matrix was modified to create a being with increased durability with an affinity for deep region shaping. The earthen are the product of this modification. After the earthen had been put into service for the creators, unforeseen anomalies were discovered that affected their synthesis matrix due to high-stress environments. What are these anomalies you speak of? Additional background information on the earthen must be given to you before this question may be answered properly. Processing. To understand the anomalies of the earthen, it is first important to understand what the earthen represent in their design intent. The earthen represent the creator's attempt at improving the survivability paradigm of the standard subterranean being matrix. This was done by incorporating a resilient foundation of construction inherent to the world into said matrix. What is a resilient foundation of construction? It is the baseline material used in race synthesis. A cross-section of Azeroth's crust was used as the foundation of the Earthen's synthesis rather than the typical biomass construction foundation used by the creators. Basically, they're made of stone. Research on the world's composition led the creators to theorize that an enhanced being could be synthesized that would epitomize the resiliency of this world's essence. This was accomplished by choosing to use a blend of Azeroth's various stone core compounds as the foundation. So, the Earthen were made out of stone. Simply stated, this is correct. The Earthen's physical features are that of a smaller stature humanoid, though their composition is that of Azeroth's various stone core compounds. Their design maximizes strength and stamina without sacrificing cognitive processing power. Their skin and musculature are nearly impervious to physical damage, and with very minor modifications, the Earthen display a remarkable resiliency to unwanted magical forces. They have magic resistance. Anything else I should know about the Earthen? It is integral to the assimilation of this data that it is understood that the creators wanted to synthesize a race that would long be an integral part of this world's development cycle after they had departed. This race would be instrumental in fulfilling the creators' long-term development objectives for Azeroth. As an ancillary note, the nomenclature Earthen was deemed apropos for the new race by the creators based on the Earthen's composition. I think I understand the creators' design intent for the Earthen now. What are the Earthen's anomalies that you spoke of earlier? The Earthen's only anomaly in synthesis is the tendency for matrix destabilization while being utilized in high-stress environments. Addendum. Deeper sculpting was naturally suited to the new matrix design, and thus never met the qualifications of duplicating a high-stress environment. Destabilization was not discovered until well into the Earth's primary service cycle for the creators. The creators began work on post-synthesis modification rather than recall and resynthesis. So what they're saying is basically, the Earthen were designed so good they never even sufficiently stress tested, and it wasn't until the stress test, till different stresses came, most likely the old ones, that finally things started to go bad, and then rather than scrapping them, they decided to just try to fix them. What high stress environments would cause the Earthen to destabilize? There is a noticeable pause after you ask this question. The information you request is not currently available in this repository's data cycling. I sincerely apologize for this omission. Now, we know more about that. We learn more about that in Loken and Wrath of the Lich King. Please request this information after a data cycling update has been performed on this information repository. You may also request this information from another information repository located on Azeroth. What happens when the Earthen destabilize? There are two potential results when the Earthen synthesis matrix destabilizes, initiating visual aid representation number 1. The first variant matrix is a degenerative product of synthesis hereby designated with the common nomenclature of Trog. This variant maintains strength and stamina comparable to the Earthen, but its cognitive processing power has been almost completely compromised. Force of will and a strong sense of cunning are the only driving factors in the psyche of the Trog. Trogs? Are the Trogs you mentioned the same as the ones in the world today? I am unable to process your chronological reference in comparison to the recording of this data. My apologies. The Trog retains some composition of Azeroth's various stone core compounds, but the loss of cognitive power makes this variant unacceptable to the creators. The Trog procreates as per a standard biomass. By default, it consumes stone and anything else it can acquire, including other Trogs. Cannibalism is considered unacceptable by the creators. You mentioned two results when the Earthen destabilized. What is the second? Initiating visual aid representation number 2. The second resultant variance of the Earthen matrix retains many desired elements when compared to the standard subterranean matrix. Essentially, dwarves are almost as good as Earthen. The common nomenclature for this variant is dwarf. This variant retains strength and stamina inherent to the Earthen. In some cases, the dwarf even exceeds the cognitive powers of the Earthen's matrix. The dwarf, however, retains none of the physical compositions of Azeroth's various stone core compounds, so smarter but not as tough. Dwarves? Now you're telling me that dwarves originally came from the Earthen? The data stored in this repository does indeed correlate with your astute proclamation. The dwarf maintains an affinity for the stone composition of Azeroth, but due to the high-stress environmental anomaly within the Earthen's synthesis matrix, the dwarf reverts to a default biomass composition as seen in the standard subterranean matrix. We're talking about the curse of flesh there. Ergo, the dwarf variant does synthesize from the degeneration of the Earthen creation matrix, as you inferred with your query. These dwarves are the same ones today, yes? Do dwarves maintain any other links to the Earthen? I'm unable to process your chronological reference in comparison to the recording of this data. My apologies. Though the dwarf maintains most of the earthen's mental attunement to Azeroth's stone composition, the reversion back into living biomass remains the same degeneration of the Matrix. Dwarves eat and procreate through means typical to other standard biomasses. The creators view the dwarf as an acceptable variant, worthy of Genesis in its own right. Who are the creators? The creators are the creators. They are the beings that seeded and shaped this world by their own design. They are the reason for this world's existence as well as many other worlds. They are the wellspring from which Azeroth flows. This is a lot to think about. The creators are cognizant of the magnitude of the information housed in this repository. Subsequently, a portable copy of the data stored here will be made available to you once you are attuned with the discs of Norganon. Please consider your cursory requirements for the assimilation of this knowledge to be complete. At your leisure, access the disc of Norganon to begin synthesis of your discs. I will access the discs now. Okay, so that was the only thing that was possibly time sensitive, and that is completing this quest right here. The Platinum Discs, Part 1. Following the instructions of the Stone Watcher, you once again access the discs of Norganon now that you've learned about the history of the Earthen, the Trogs, and the Dwarves. A faint brief turn is heard from within the discs. The Stone Watcher then speaks. The discs have now been synthesized. Access the disc of Norganon once more to receive your personal copy. Platinum Discs, Part 2. And he says, your discs are now ready. Engage the disc of Norganon once again to retrieve them. Touching the discs of Norganon once again makes your hand tingle. This time, however, a strange grinding noise is heard from inside the discs. Your backpack suddenly becomes heavier than it was before. Inside, you discover a miniature version of the discs. No doubt an item of this sort would be valuable for someone interested in the ancient history of Azeroth. The sages of Thunder Bluff are such historians, known throughout the Horde. Perhaps they can make good use of it. Perfecten Schlagen. Alright, now we do have to do a little bit here to get out, because we do still have to go back here and turn in the gems in the power source. So we have to escape. Let's we'll save any spreadsheets for the way out, but what we really have to do here is we gotta live. We gotta be the girl who lived, a la Harry Potter. We do have the wrap-up quest line to do, so we are going to ultimately have to go back and forth from Tanaris, from Thunder Bluff to Tanaris. And that's going to be the remaining time on this episode. And as we simmer down here, it was nice to get a carry. This was actually kind of chill. It was cool to be able to talk this out. You could at least see the mapping structure and the mechanics on a couple of the bosses. But when you do get carried, you lose a lot of that. So the common strategy, by the way, to make that final boss fight easier, is to pull the final boss up into that room right there that we just passed through. That way, when he summons his adds, they are too far to actually come. Alright, so I'm going to escape. I'm actually going to take the back door, too. So we already cleared the way to the back door, and that's what I'm going to take. Now there is an enchanting trainer here. I don't need that. But if you make your way through there, there's some mobs and an enchanting trainer. But we can avoid all that goodness. And we actually already cleared the way to the back door. And even if we didn't, we can make a run for it. I'm pretty sure we did. You can hear some tink-tink-tinking of other dwarves around here. Okay, I don't know if he's... what that guy's doing, if he's just exploring. Or what, but... this is the back door to Uldaman. A little bit of a pinch shorter of a way out. Now, there's an elite guy, so we are going to have to make a run for it. I'm not fighting those dudes. My plan is to go out, war stomp, and then escape. Ah. Get out of here in my ghost wolf form. That's the plan. So now we need to run over to Kargath, because we only have 2 quests. We have find the gems in the power source, which is now green for us. We have the platinum discs. We are level 47. Okay, so here we go as we run across. Let's go ahead and play around with the spreadsheet. I'm really glad that we got a chance to do this. This is when I was checking. There were some people trying to join, when I was getting the group, I had some 32s and some 35s, and I'm like, oh, guys, like, I would love for you to be able to... This is before I knew I was going to carry. If I knew I was going to carry, I'd be like, yeah, more the merrier. But this is when I was like, oh, come on. So this is find the gems in the power source. Actually, before we got that one, we're now picking up the Platinum Discs Part 1. We actually picked it up and we read it, completed it. Boom, boom. Okay, we can actually sell a little bit of this guy too while we're here, just to open up some inventory. Okay, I gotta check these things. All right, so these bracers, those are 14 with a boost. Those are, yeah, that's the ones I got rid of. That's only basically a 10. Selling that. This is a one-handed hammer. Now this hammer, it's crit 2%. This is a dope hammer. I actually wish I could give this over to one of my other mods, but the 2% chance to crit is fantastic. 42.7 DPS. Now this is 33 on the stats, but whereas this is only 5. But you could consider that 2% chance to hit almost like 20. So it's like 25. And then if I were to count every point of damage to be an increase. So this is going to... I'm going to lose a ton of stamina and spirit. But this is basically like 30-something points better. If you considered every point one of a point, which I could consider that. So we're going to rock this. We're losing a ton of stamina and spirit, but wow, we're getting some crit, which is really going to help with our flurry. Overall, this is a better weapon in the short term for us. It's pretty cool. Although this is Mograin's Might is a significantly better healing mace, so maybe I'm going to try to keep on to both for a while. I can sell those arrows. That is a two-handed hammer. That was a 19, not as good as Mograin's Might. Already checked a lot of these other ones. Just selling some of this junk. I'm selling the stuff, the thing of impending doom. I don't really care for it. Alright. And I can sell those pants. Alright, that's just a kind of... Okay, my group is disbanded. I just wanted to catch some time on that. Alright, so then that opened up the second of the Platinum Discs Part 2, which is, hey, go bring that to... Ooh, excuse me. Wow. Bring that to Thunder Bluff, which we're going to do that. But first, we have to turn this one in because he's going to tell us to go ahead and finish and turn the rest into Orgrimmar. We did hit a odd level, so even though we're 47, we have some fishing to do too. Worth considering doing that fishing. Oh, here's some coyotes I could skin. And you know what? While we're in Thunder Bluff, that's perfect because that's going to give us the opportunity to mess with our leatherworking. I'm going to fish in one of these places too. I don't know where yet, but I'm going to fish somewhere. Assuming we have time, I'm going to time check this right now and just see where we're at. Now, I would like to be done in 30 minutes. That's my goal. How are we on the record time? We're not even at an hour. Okay, so record time is nothing. We're totally good on that. It feels so long for me because I have been, like I said, it took me about an hour and a half of recruitment time. So while this episode has been an hour, it's been an hour and a half. I will. Like I told you guys before, this is super busy week for me. She wants me to do something, but I mean, it's late at night. I feel like that I'll do it first thing in the morning. I'm not gonna work on it right now. I got to draw a line somewhere. It's 9 o'clock at night. Come on. I'll be there at. I have to be at work at 7 in the morning, so can wait that long. All right.
Relax.
You got another trip in the depths of Uldaman in store for yourself if you don't have the gems and a power source capable of channeling magical power back into the necklace. You'll be getting the gems back to deliver the goons or to deliver to the goons in Orgrimmar. I will be keeping the power source since it will be the thing that will make the necklace work in the first place. He dances. Very well done, Shaman. Now the fruits of our redirection will pay themselves out handsomely. I'm finished with the necklace itself, and I am confident I can duplicate the construction process consistently. But first I will use a specially prepared incantation to quickly analyze those gems before you take them and the necklace back to Orgrimmar. This will just take a brief moment to do. And now for a quick look at these gems. We're getting pretty good mana. We're getting good XP for this too. Just as I thought, the gems in the necklace don't matter. It's all about the power source. So basically all of this stuff was just for a stupid necklace. That was nothing special about it at all. There was this construct, ancient creator's power source. Any necklace setting and gem will work so long as they are the same material. This power source, however, is what will bring the magic back to the necklace, I hope. I'll gladly supply the gems needed for your version of the necklace so long as the power source actually works. Head to Orgrimmar and keep your end of the bargain with Droffers and Sons Salvage. Just keep your mouth shut about our deal. When you get back, I might have a wonderful surprise for you. Spoiler, I don't think he does. Alright, let's go ahead and astral recall our way back. Alright, so we just turned in find the gems and the power source. Turn that bad boy in. And then he gave us deliver the gems. And that's what we're going to do right now. We're going back to Orgrimmar. To deliver the gems, and then we have to fly to Thunder Bluff. This is about all the people that are left smattering around the world now. Oh, poor us. I really liked Mograin's Might there. It's been good for us. Alright, so we're going to Droffers and Sons. But this was good. Now, we're not going to have a dungeon. I think we have 4 zones to run. We're going to run all of Dustwallow Marsh, all of Stranglethorn Vale, all of the Hinterlands, and then all of Tanaris before we do our next dungeon, because we've almost completed all of the non-endgame dungeons. There's only two or three to go. Maybe 4 if you count Maraudon. I forgot about that. Well, look who it is. Took your sweet time getting here, I see. Let's hope this isn't a waste of my time. You'll not get paid unless you have everything I asked for, and trust me on this. We'll be double and triple checking everything.
Yep, it's all here. Say, mind if we keep the bag too? No, thanks. Appreciate it. Hair, this necklace will be our greatest haul yet. Don't feel too bad though. I'm sure the necklace wouldn't fit you anyway. Har again. A deal is a deal. So here's your fee for the salvage. Our business is done here for now. Check back later to see if we have more work. Until then, beat it.
As Dran and Malton Droffers begin to squabble over their new salvage, half of the deal is now complete. A trip to the Badlands is now in order to finish things up, as Jarkle Mossmeld in Kargath might have a special reward waiting for you there.
I've got some salvage work for you. And if you're an aficionado...
That's annoying. So, at the end of the day, we are going to have to finish this up by going back to him. That's so lame. So we have to, we do have to go back to the other continent at the end of the whole thing. Stupid. I guess I should look and see what's a quicker flight to there. Gromgall. I guess Gromgall's a little quicker. I'm just planning that. We're going to do that. I mean, we can do that right now. Or I could go, we could fly to Thunder Bluff and do that part there and back. Nah. I guess we're going to go. That's annoying. Okay. That is what it is. Not a lot we can do. Okay, so unfortunately we have to go back to that, and that's going to add time. So we're at 25 minutes. I mean, I might go a pinch over it. It is what it is. This is, it's going to really be all, there's nothing difficult. It's all about travel time now. There's that little pinch of reading at the end. Yeah. We have time on our side a little bit when it comes to the Astral Recall and the Hearthstone, so we can keep bopping back to Orgrimmar as needed. That boat is up there. If it runs off, fine. I mean, it's not significant. It is, I guess it is longer. I think it is worth going to Gromgal. Even though this boat is there, I think it is worth it. Gromgal's just a little closer, so. Alright, so let's go ahead and mess with this now. So, deliver the gems. We just did that. And then he's giving us the final one, necklace recovery, take 3. Okay, boom, we're going to pick that up and go drop that off. Now, as we start taking a little peek ahead here, so we'll finish this out today. We're going to start Duskwallow. I don't know if I'm going to have time to do that. Tomorrow, I'm kind of on the fence. I have... My wife is texting me. I gotta just play it by ear tomorrow. I was supposed to today and tomorrow work 15-hour days, but I didn't know about today until the last minute, and it was kind of like a there was a message sent out to me and a few others, but I've been working 50, 60-hour weeks the past couple weeks, so I don't get paid extra, first of all. So that's one of the great things about state of the world, state of my profession. I just have to do the job. But it makes, so I also feel like this is sort of a, they basically, like, it's a task that needs to get done. It's technically volunteer. It's one of those things that it looks good. For the one that was going to be run tonight, you have to be certified in certain things, and I'm one of 5 to 10 people in the county that are certified, and normally about half of those show up, and you work in pairs and get the job done. You don't have to work in pairs. It is maybe 6 or 7 normally show. And I did the last one, but I was just too tired. I was like, you know what? I just don't. You have to do it 4 times. There's four. It's kind of quarterly again. I did all of them the first quarter. And I just think I'm going to not this time. I don't get paid for it, and it's not even, it is what it is. I'm not going to bore you guys with all the work talk, but the bottom line is I'm playing tomorrow by ear. That one's a little bit more serious. It's a bigger deal, but there's a lot more people, and I've just been so busy already. If I wasn't already burning the candle at both ends, then I would probably be able to reach down in the tank. But when I thought about adding another 15 hours onto my, or 10 hours onto my work week this week, I was just like, it was like staring down a long, endless hall. And I was like, you know what? I think I'm just going to say, I think I'm just not going to do it. And then that gave me otherwise I was going to have to not make a video tonight and not make one tomorrow. And it would have been days. We would have gone all week, and the only thing I would have done is made my 10-minute video, 6-minute video, or whatever I made yesterday. So you guys deserve more than that. You guys are the ones that I love. This is what brings me the joy, and I got to feed that too, you know? I got to have that work-life balance, right? So we're gonna now fly back to Kargath, of course. So waste a little time here. Nothing. It's a direct flight, but it's all we can do here. But as we look ahead, so I may or may not, but so either tomorrow or the next day we're going to start Duskwallow. If you look at it, it starts off harder on the Alliance and ends up harder on the Horde. So we're going to start with Alliance. I think we'll be able to at least finish this missing diplomat chain. Journey to Astronar is a little bit of a silly one because you pick it up there and it's a breadcrumb over to Ashenvale. Kind of silly to do. And then High Perch Venom is another one that you pick up that sends you to Stone Talon. So they're both two silly quests that are really serve more than anything else as breadcrumbs. The missing diplomat here, I really hope that this quest, see, it says they call him Smiling Jim. We'll read about that one. You can't do that if you pick up one of these other quests. It's a breadcrumb. But now this Jarl needs a blade. That's a doozy. Because, let's look that one up. That quest is going to kill us. Especially with the way the server is right now. You need a Moonsteel Broadsword. I don't know if... They're very hard to purchase. If you look, there's all the reagents. You need 8 steel, 2 strong flux, 2 heavy grinding stones, 3 lesser moonstones, 3 heavy leather. We can provide some of those, but they're not frequently for sale on the bank because they're just not particularly awesome. It's a 2-handed sword. It's like a bait. It's kind of like a bait, maybe a paladin's healing sword. I don't know why this guy needs it. It's not a normal recipe. You'd have to get the drop. I don't remember if... I kind of think my Glee Contessa has it. So for her, she'll be able to... She might be fine. And then if I have to jury rig it to where I can send one over, we will do that. I'll do that off camera. We'll do some finagling in the Alliance auction house, and then I'll... with my other account, we'll put one on there, kind of deal, put it on, buy it on the other account. And then my other horde can do it, and then that one can send it over to this account. Yeah. I do that sometimes. I'll use my wife's account, basically, to shimmy that. But if we have to do that, and I won't do all that if I don't have to, we'll go on the auction house, but it's... like, if we look at JP Worgen right now for that, I always look this JP Worgen up because I like it, but it's never accurate at all. If we do Moonsteel Broadsword, no data. So, if you look like on the set rat at Mancrick, 500 gold, it's been bought 3 times, but it's never been purchased on Pagel in the past month. So never, 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 ever. I can go ahead and, I could switch around, but it shows you these, and I'm not paying 500 gold for that. And it's never really accurate anyway. I don't even know where the heck they get those numbers from. So, just something to track. I'll probably we'll have to set that one up. So I'm already a little bit worried about that. That's annoying. And we have to do it on both. The rest of it's fine. There's much more Alliance than there is Horde because of that missing diplomat chain. It's a lot of go talk to him. So it's a lot of easy, but a lot of traveling. So we'll be able to finish this in one go. And then probably 2 other episodes. So over the course of 3 episodes, maybe starting tomorrow. So by the end of this week, for sure, we'll be done with Dustwallow for the Alliance, and then next week we'll get it started. And by the time I get to go on a nice vacation for a couple weeks, I'll be staying home. It'll be a staycation, so I'll be making more videos for you guys. Should be done with all of this zone, and we'll be starting Stranglethorn, and that's exactly where I planned us to be. What I'm not doing is getting where I wanted to be on my other. I'm pretty much done for all intents and purposes with on the trail running site, the trailblazing site, where if you look at where I'm at here, I'm on Hinterlands. I'm actually done. I haven't written the last few in, but I've completed the Hinterlands. It's, as you see, it's mostly Horde quests. I have a couple more to write in that I actually did finish, that are the elite quests for the little Hinterlands tower. But I'm not going to have time to actually play for a few days. The power source you gave me exceeded every expectation I had for it. I was able to make both you and me a necklace, and I have enough left over to make at least 3 more. They will fetch quite the fee with Droffers and Son salvage, none the wiser. Here you go, my friend. I give you my thanks on a splendid job and something quite special for your trouble. It's the thanks, that's all I really care about. I actually kind of like this. It's 10 stam, 10 spirit. So I'd lose 6. It's equal stat-wise, but I would lose 6 intellect to gain 3 spirit, 3 stam. I kind of like that. Oh, we're actually not going to fly. Now we're going to go astral recall. That has 9. We'll wait 9 seconds. Okay, so I think I'm actually going to take that necklace. It is Jarkel's enhancing necklace. I like it better as a healer. Alright, so now we're going to astral recall, and then we'll fly back to... That was long since we had to come back over here. Kind of annoying. Added 10 minutes onto our life. Okay, now we're going to fly to Thunder Bluff and work on that. Now, this Bloodstained Journal, I can get rid of that now that we've actually completed that quest chain. I'll go ahead and play around with my bags in a moment. I'm on the fence about whether I want to save Mograin's Might for a while. Alright, flying to Thunder Bluff we go.
You haven't lived until you've looked down on the world from the back of a Wind Rider.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I'm going to stick... Some of it's just whatever. I really just need bag space. It's kind of poo-poo. I mean, like this 1 Worn Dragon Scale. These 3 Shadowcat hides. It's annoying. I thought I was lagging. Nope, she's dead. I don't know what that means. Alright, so... Yeah, so back where we were at. That'll be... Yeah, so this weekend I should start the next one, which is Tanaris. So I'm about to be finishing that run. And Tanaris is not... I don't know how big it is. I don't think it's too bad. But it's going to wrap up with Zul'Farrak. And then I'm going to have to go... At the end of it, we're going to end up... Zul'Farrak's going to be tied into rerunning some elite quests in the Hinterlands. You're going to have to... For both, we're going to have to rerun the temple. So the way I've done it, we're going to have to do that stupid troll temple twice. Hopefully the second time, since we can just speed back and get the Ancient Egg, it won't be as annoying. But, you know, whatever. Is what it is. The loot and XP is pretty good. It does take a long time. It takes as long as a dungeon to do that. This Hinterlands Temple. If you look out here, there is this little... Whatever it's called. The little troll Aztec temple layer. It's kind of fun to run. But... If you full clear it, like if you're... The quests are ridiculous. You have to kill 100 elites. You need some little pieces throughout. You need some couple special things here and there trickled around. Then at the top, you've got to kill a mini boss, and you have to rescue a dude and go back and then kill another mini boss. So there are... It's like a mini dungeon, basically. And I did it... I 3-manned it with a group, and it took us about, I don't know, hour... Probably took us about an hour and a half, but it was because there was some mess ups at the end where the guy, we had to like do the final cave twice because one of the guys forgot to talk to the NPC. But I mean, it's productive. You get, you know, gold and stuff. We're very close too. We're almost at 90. So now we have one whole level to get enough gold that, and we're gonna sell some of this stuff. Like this is going. I'm selling that necklace, the Triune Amulet, and we'll get a little bit more stuff as we go. That can be down there because that's gonna get disappeared right now. All right, so if you remember, we did this quest on Alliance. It's gonna be the same. We're still gonna run the same thing. After this, we're gonna need to fly down to Gadget Stand, then walk down to here, then walk back to Gadget Stand. Actually, rather than walking back, at that point, we'll probably hearth back to Oregon, fly back. That would be faster to do that one more time, and that can be where we wrap that. It's gonna take us more than 10 minutes to do all this, so I'll be a pinch over, but not a lot we can do. And yeah, so that's good. Once we finish this tier, well, actually, Zulfra, Hinterland starts a new tier. So Tanaris is. Oh, let's go ahead. There's that quest. I'm gonna turn that in, and then we're also gonna go look at the. Whatchamacallit, the leatherworking. So I guess in here is our person. Sage Truth Seeker.
Peace.
Yes, young one. I see you marching into my tent with intensity in your stride, with determination in your purpose. You seek my counsel in some matter of grave importance to the Horde. Perhaps you wish a mystery of the universe revealed to you.
What are these here then? Impressive, young one. These discs. In them I sense secrets that the Earth has held on to tightly for many years. You were very wise to bring them here to me. I shall focus my energies on these discs. They will reveal their true workings to me in due time. As for you, adventurer, I will now reward you for your diligence in bringing this to my attention. Take this voucher to Baina Winterhoof, the alchemy trainer for Thunder Bluff. She will give you a special item I believe you will find appealing, and she will supply you with a choice of potions from my personal stock. Return to me soon, as I sense there is much more at hand for us to do regarding this find.
There certainly is, and he gave us a reward voucher. All right, where's the Bluff Armory or whatever it's called? Not down here. Okay, so we need to go up to her. And so it's going to be a 14 slot bag and some potions. I will take those. I don't know what I would rather have of the potions. While we're up here, let's see. Is this the tier that has the armor? No, not this tier either. So they're really sending us to all the different tiers.
When I first saw the undead, I wept, for I could not imagine their horror and loneliness. The Earth Mother spoke to me then. She sang in my blood, and she told me, save them.
Greetings, shaman. Are you here for alchemy training? Or perhaps something else?
Well, adventurer, you must have pleased Sage Truthseeker greatly for him to give you this item. You are also to be granted a gift from his cache of potions. You may choose between 5 superior healing potions or 5 greater mana potions as your reward.
Fantastic. All right, now let's go up to the final tier and talk to the leatherworking guys, and then we'll go back because now the Portents of Uldum are there. We do not have enough to turn in anything. But this over here is, I think, the tier. Where's the leatherworking tier? Is it that? No. Where the hexes am I? I guess I'll talk to the guard. I guess I missed it.
Greeting. What are you looking for? Which profession?
Now there is a like a tribal leather worker, and we're gonna have to be doing that soon too. I can't remember. I think they're in. I don't know. Maybe Arathi. Want to sell enchant Pracer Deflection and the 8 of Portals. That person who wants to buy the 8 of Portals? Who cares? How did I miss this place? I have no idea. All right, so let's go for it. We're gonna start by selling. What can we sell? We have no. Okay, I do have cured heavy hide.
Well met.
Cool. And then what can I build? All right, so that's 8. That's 6, but I need 2 hides each. That's 4, and I only need 1 hide. Well, that's pretty good. All right, so silken thread. We're gonna build one of those. So now, I guess if I could find heavy hides, that would be dope. Okay, so I'm gonna see if I can do that. See if is there an auction house around here? Let's talk to the guards again and see. Because if I can get some heavy hides, we
What are
can.
you looking for? It is found on the lowest section of Thunder Bluff.
Alright, buddy. Okay. Alright, we're gonna do it. I mean, we don't come to Thunder Bluff on every episode, so I've got to make it happen. Let's see if there are any heavy hides. I don't know. If there's not, we're just gonna have to bite the bullet and do the tougher. There are cured heavy hides, but they're 30 cents each. Or there is a regular heavy hide. And then that's it. Other than that... Okay, so I guess I'm buying 1 at a time. 2... And that's it. I'm not going to buy past this. Okay. So I did buy 4. Go pick up the mail. One of them's cured, so I'm going to have to cure it myself. And, yeah, I wish we could have bought them by stacks, but... I mean, dude is selling. He's creating, you know, he's working in the market here. So let's take this other heavy hide too and make that up. Alright, so I need to buy 3 more whatchamacallits. Make a heavy hide. Cured heavy hide. Sold. And then we need to buy some... Okay, so we can do 4 of these. So I need... Okay, then this will get me to the next tier, which is 195, which is still short of what we need. I'm ready to start working with rugged leather. Probably, I'm guessing it's going to be at least 200, but I'm not going to spend... Because it's going to be, you know, 1.5 gold to get all of those, and there's not even that many. So I'm cool with it. We just didn't get lucky, so we're going to spend the heavy leather that we get. And we are so ready to get thick leather across the board. Maybe I'll get something that doesn't require these hides. Please, that'd be cool. Alright, so now let's go to the trainer. See what we get it.
Great Cairn has brought us to a land rich
A dusky
in
belt.
possibilities for the future.
Okay, what's that do?
And so in turn we
That
pass on
requires a bunch of crap. That requires 14 in crap.
adventurer.
Okay, this I can actually buy. It's 16 for each one, though. That's what's annoying. So it's 4 times as much if you do this. And I could only build 2. So, whereas if I go buy I do 5, I can get 5. All right, fine. I'll go back and buy 5 more. It's too much. That's too much of a discrepancy. It will cut my time in 4th. Now, if there's not 5 for sale, I'm not going to do it. There's 5 for sale, sure. Guess I'll go for it. Actually need to go to the bank too. Let's go there. So I want to drop off. This is an improved bank bag for what I have. Can't put something inside itself. It's like bag of holding rules. You'll break your brain if you do it. That's a pretty big... Oh, same deal. Okay, so... Go in the bank here and... add, that's a 6 slot. This is an 8 slot. That gives me 2. This is 240, 290. Yeah, I'm not close to either one of those things. And there. I should probably take some of the stinking stuff out that I just feel like I'm not going to need. 220. Somebody was asking about... Oh, there's a swiftness potion. I can add that into the stack. Guess I'm going to keep everything else right now. I do not want to spend the money upping this, but some of this stuff I might have to ditch. Okay, so back to the auction house. I can't even remember where that is. There it is. See if we can buy heavy hides again. 5 more. I mean, it's okay, so we're gonna buy 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. 5. So there is still 1 more 5 stack left, but I don't think that's going to matter because I don't think I quite have enough leather to necessitate another 5 stack. Okay. And up we go. Alright, so that wasted all my time right there, and we haven't even gone to Tanaris and back yet. Yeah, it took me forever. I feel bad for the people out there looking for group, because I feel bad for myself. It was bad. I guess multiple things went wrong, you know. One, it was raid night, I guess. I guess there's a lot of raids tonight. And... yeah, see, I'm 1 heavy leather off of being able to... Yeah, see, how did my DPS change? So my damage is 63.3. If I had Mograin's Might... Oh, I have to wait until I'm done making these. Maybe I can do it while I'm flying. Possibly. More. This is good though. We're up to 200. That means I should be able to maybe buy the next. So this might actually stop my mount aspirations because all right, they are still. I could get 5 more points out of these bad boys. Yikes! That's how they do. Oh, I want to sell this thing too. Okay, so let's try and see what happens.
Well, even my talents have a limit, and you
Thick hide, thick armor, thick leather. Okay, cool. So now I'm doing this. Now screw that. Okay, so we're gonna convert the heavy leather into thick leather. This is what did you just say? Feralis? She said that. Oh, and that's it. We get like 2 points, and then it's green. Okay, and then there was something else. I can make thick armor kits. I can make a ton thick armor kits. Let's see what she has, what she says. How far can I go before?
Even my talents have a limit, and you have reached it.
Yeah,
Congratulations,
25.
adventurer. Your next stop should be Camp Mojace in Feralis. The Tauren Harana Ironhide lives there. She is renowned for her skill.
Now, I think that, I mean, she can teach me. But what I want to do is I want to chill on it a little bit because I want to maximize how much thick leather I can make. So I'm going to keep collecting heavy leather for a little while, and I'm not going to mess with anything. We're going to be patient. That's the plan. Now, let's go ahead and these heavy mage we've made. I'm not doing that, actually. I was going to make these heavy silks just to sell. Dang it. All right, now it's flying back to Tanaris. Or not back to, but flying there in the first place. And yeah, this is going to be, we're blowing past, not the time of the episode. That part's fine. She got a big old axe.
Greetings, traveler.
Okay, so we're going to fly from here to Tanaris. We're going to check the spreadsheet out. Did I pick that quest up? No, I did not. Ooh, I would have cried. I forgot to pick the quest up. Anyone need Tethys? I can't remember who Tethys is. Sounds familiar. So now that we did the voucher, this guy's can give it to us.
Adventurer, it is fortuitous that you have come to me again. Your revelations at the Uldaman dig site have certainly given us sages much discuss. I was doing just that with one of the druids, Nara Wildmane, when it dawned on me that her past adventuring experiences may have some great importance as to the next step we need to take. I would like for you to speak with her concerning her travels to the Valley of the Watchers in the Tanaris Desert. She waits for you on the Elder Rise.
Alright, so he's like, go over and talk to this person. It's not a Lady Gleecon special because I am going across the stinking city. Also a tiny pinch of why this is a little bit weirder or harder, more annoying, whatever you want to describe it, to do as a Horde than Alliance. Because Alliance, you're just like, hey, go talk to this guy who is right there. We are going to have to come back in the ultimately back to Thunder Bluff. This is where I want to end because it's where we're going to start for Dust Wallow Marsh. I was called Dusk Wallow.
There is a place deep in the Tanaris Desert called the Valley of the Watchers. The discs that you recovered, their translated glyphs, make mention of a place called Uldum. Most think this place to be a myth. I know this to be false. Uldum exists. I've been there. Well, outside at any rate. The crux is this, adventurer. We think there is a connection between the discs and Uldum, and we want you to go there. Sage Truthseeker and I would like you to take the miniature discs you found to the sealed gates of Uldum. We aren't sure what will happen when you do this. This sounds risky, sure, we acknowledge that. It might, however, do nothing. You might need to use the discs on something. Perhaps the doors unlock when you have the discs in your possession. Be open to try anything and be ready for anything to happen. Learn what you can, then return to me. We will have much to discuss.
Alright, so kind of on the fence about whether it's faster to fly right there. It's almost equidistance, but we would be walking, so I think it will be faster to Hearth. Alright, so first let's recap on what we just picked up. So we did complete necklace recovery take 3. We just went down there and turned it in. Then we did the platinum discs. We made it to Thunder Bluff. We turned that bad boy in. Okay, cool. I have to extend a few. Might not be that many, but then that guy was like, oh, that was really cool. You deserve a treasure or whatever. So he gave us within Thunder Bluff a treasure to go get the voucher, and that's where we got this bag, and we got some healing potions. Isn't that cool? That one's done. Then he said, hey, there's actually somebody that knows a little bit about this. Go across town and pick that up, go talk to her. So we had to just hike across Thunder Bluff and go. And then she said, well, go see what happens. I've been there. I've been to these gates. I wonder what would happen if you brought these cool little discs there. Now, let's be clear, though. All of this is a major stretch. The actual journey, the fact that the Tauren would have such an intimate knowledge of this is just weird. Just weird. All right, so they're just checking that. I did post a video. I recorded it yesterday. I didn't post it till today. Oh, we already got 5 views since I've been making this, and a like. That's great. It's an episode about Xavius. We're sitting at 1,050. I've been kind of stagnant. I had really good growth over Thanksgiving break, and it correlates with the algorithm because I produced a lot more content. Back when I'm working constantly, it's just really it's too hard for me to make long videos many nights. And it's not even about like I'm just too tired. A lot of the time it's just, some of it's that, but it's also equally responsibilities. There's not enough time in the day to get everything done. This little dog is not helping. She's creating busyness for me. But you know, this too shall pass. Life is what it is. All right, so I think we're in a good spot in terms of where we're at. Yeah, that's going to wrap up, and then I'm going to be starting to Tanaris soon. And that's what I was going to do. Okay, so then I was going to move forward, and we can kind of, again, you know, I like to do this from time to time. It just helps keep everything in track in the forecasts. And for those of you that make it this far, this is something that we have to look forward to and look at. So there were basically, once we finish Stranglethorn Vale. So if you look at what this game is composed of, so there is Tier 1, the intro tier to the game, which is going to take you to somewhere around level 10 to 12, and it is, there are 3 zones per faction, so this is about 6 total zones. If you're doing a completionist run, you're going to be completing 3 zones. So there's Elwyn Forest if you are a human. The comparable low-level entry is actually Mulgore. So those are your temperate zones if you're Tauren. The middle of the two is Durotar if you are a troll or a orc. And Teldrassil is a night elf. Those are both comparable. Durotar is actually probably right there with Stormwind. Teldrassil's a little bit, it's actually a tiny pinch harder. There's a quest at the end that brings it just past the level of the other 3 if you want it to be a night elf. And then the 2 actual tougher zones in terms of mob strength are Dunmorog if you're a dwarf, and Tristful Glades is right there at the end too. Probably the hardest one if you are Forsaken, undead. So that's all considered Tier 1. So we did that together. That's all been completed. And I'm going to call that Tier 1. I'm actually going to mark this up in my notes because I don't have the first tiers listed. Now, Tier 2 is the natural progression. Each race has 1 natural progression zone. Let's get walking here, and we'll talk about this as we walk. Because now we have a desert jaunt. Ooh, jaunty. Across the desert, and there's nothing to do while we do it in Ghost Wolf form. So the natural progression. Now, I included Moonglade in this simply because Moonglade has no organic quests of its own. You'll never go to Moonglade and quest. If you are a druid, you have some quests to complete there in the beginning of the game, and you might have something that has you stop there from time to time. But other than that, there's nothing that really happens in Moonglade. It can be part of quests that originate elsewhere, but it is not a place to dwell. It's a place to visit. So because of that, it gets its own little space. It's not really counted much in the same way that Deadwind Pass is. Is it technically a zone? Yes. Is it a place where you will run around and quest? No. It is a place to visit, not a place to live. So the natural progressions then is Westfall, which does include the Deadmines dungeon. That's the natural progression for humans. And right about that difficulty level is Lochmodan, progression of dwarves, no dungeon. The Night Elves get Dark Shore, a little bit more difficult of a zone, no dungeon. And then Silverpine Forest is the Forsaken natural progression from Terrestrial Glades, and it is a tiny pinch harder because there is the Silverpine Village at the end. It's a little bit tough, and you would start to consider at that point in time whether or not you wanted to run Shadowfang Keep, although it is not the natural progression. It's natural to come back, much in the same way that we're going to say come back to Maraudon. You would come back to Shadowfang Keep later on. So then would be the Barrens. It's actually a little harder than some of the other zones that I count next, but it starts so low that it's worth sticking in there. And that's really also a hybrid sort of zone. So the Alliance, again, they get Westfall, they get Lochmodan, and they get Darkshore. And the Horde gets Silverpine, and then they get the Barrens. And the Barrens is so big that it's in retail, it's considered Northern and Southern Barrens. So the Barrens is really the cutoff that ends Tier 2. And it also immediately segues us into Tier 3, because Southern Barrens would then be the beginning of Tier 3. This is also where things start to happen. In this, you get Wailing Caverns, somewhere in there. You also would then, immediately after Wailing Caverns, you would do Shadowfang Keep. So that's somewhere in there also. So those two dungeons, Wailing Caverns, where do I have that written down? I have this separated here a little bit. So yeah, Wailing Caverns. Oh, and I forgot to mention, in Durotar, actually, the first dungeon is Ragefire Chasm. Then Dead Mines. And then there's Wailing Caverns, followed by Shadowfang Keep. Okay. So that's the whole... Ragefire Chasm is the only Tier 1 dungeon. The Tier 2 dungeons are Dead Mines, Wailing Caverns, Shadowfang Keep. Now, Tier 3, they are natural progression, but there starts to now be overlap. The game starts to expand. So the first one would be the Barrens. That's a Tier 3 that you could be Orc, Troll, or Tauren, and it would be a natural Tier 3 progression. But there are also a few breadcrumbs that would send you over as a Forsaken, and vice versa, that would say, hey, if you're done with Silverpine, you can find your way, or even mid Silverpine, you can come work your way out in quest in that way. See, we're getting closer. We could already do Tanaris right now. These guys are level 48. I'm not going to. 46 to 48, but this is spot on. This is right where we're at. If we wanted to fight mobs our level. Okay, now, as Tier 3 continues, I would say, at that point, that's where I shifted a lot of other things. Tier 3 is then Thousand Needles. And that really killed us. Thousand Needles murderized us. It was very difficult because it's the beginning of that tier, and the game doesn't want you to play the game linearly like that. It really wants you to jump around. Quest. We're at the Valley of the Watchers now. This is where we need to be. I'm going to talk about Tier 3 more as we go forward. To be careful, these guys are 49 elites. They will aggro on if you get too close, and we do have some reading to do, so we're going to just hang back as far as we can. We might have to run and restart if needed. The familiar-looking pedestal sticks out of the hot sand. Perhaps there's something to its presence here. You can see right here the gates of Uldum with a big hole, but nothing you can do or see inside them. As you touch the pedestal, the miniature discs from Uldaman hum and glow in your backpack. A familiar feeling tingle washes over your hands as the image of another Stone Watcher springs to life in front of the gates of Uldum. Salutations. I am a guardian of entry. The discs that have been used for access are missing the correct entry discs, the plates of Uldum. Please incorporate these plates with the disk structure and repeat your access sequencing. Thank you. And now this Stone Watcher appears. Another one, the Stone Watcher of Norgannon. Salutations, I am a Guardian of Entry. Please use the proper disks for access to Uldum. Salutations, I am a Guardian of Entry. Unless you have the plates of Uldum already integrated with your disk set, I will not allow for entry into the Uldum compound. The appearance of the Stone Watcher of Norgannon must be the reaction that was hoped for in sending you out to the Tanaris Desert with the Platinum Discs. As instructed, you will need to find out what the story behind the Stone Watcher is before continuing on. And that's what we have to now do. We've accepted that quest, I have to talk to them. Okay, what function do you serve? My purpose is to regulate access to the Uldum complex for the creators. I allow entry into the compound only when the solicitor exhibits for access the proper sequencing disks. Your disk set currently does not contain the plates of Uldum, the primary prerequisite for entry. Access is not granted unless the plates of Uldum are present. What are the plates of Uldum? The plates of Uldum are disks synthesized by the creators that allow access into the Uldum compound. These disks house and store specific data related to the creator's activities here. Physically, they are nearly identical in circumference to the disk set you currently possess. Their markings, however, are directly related to the information on Uldum, as opposed to the Uldaman complex. What are the plates of Uldum? Where are they? Several sets of the plates of Uldum have been synthesized by the creators for their expressed use. The creators control the distribution of said disks for all complexes on this world. As such, Azeroth has been rescheduled for visitation, and therefore future disks may enter circulation at that time. Existing disks have been fully distributed to those parties with appropriate security clearance. Excuse me, we've been rescheduled for visitation? What does that mean? The creators use visitation as a means to reestablish control over seeded worlds when forces, both external and internal, upset the matrix dynamics associated with it. Such tactics are not to be taken lightly when executed by the creators. For additional information on this world's scheduled visitation, please consult the appropriate data repository that fields all creator-related scheduling considerations, which I think we find that one in Ungoro Crater. So what's inside Uldum? Uldum is a research facility for the creators in their continuing efforts to enhance the biosphere of Azeroth. Specific information regarding their work as it relates to Uldum is restricted to those individuals who possess the plates of Uldum in their disk sets. Data repositories inside the Uldum complex have been programmed to address specific experiments and data compilations. Please refer to them for detailed information. I will return when I have the plates of Uldum. Okay, and that is it. Now we touch this to turn it in. The Stone Watcher's voice resonates with power and authority. You have to touch the pedestal. Your discs will be returned to you once you access the pedestal. When you have obtained the plates of Uldum and incorporated them into your existing disc set, you may then enter the complex. You access the pedestal again. The platinum discs suddenly appear once more in your backpack. With the knowledge of the Stone Watcher learned and the discs returned to your possession, the time has come to return to Thunderbluff and inform the Nara Wildmane of your discovery. Primary interaction complete. Image dissipation in 10 minutes. I guess you could continue to talk to them if you wanted to. Okay, now we're going to astral recall that person before they aggro. Will we be able to do it? I'm going to run. I got to run. I don't trust it. That was taking too long, and last time that aggroed on the Glee contestant, we had to run. It would take us longer to shake that than it would to redo the astral recall. Alright, so back to Thunder Bluff in our final flight, and then we will go talk to Nara and turn this one in. And that is going to be it for today, and next time we will start... Oh, Dark Moon Fair is up. After Christmas break, we're actually going to run some Dark Moon Fair quests. We're going to experiment and see how that goes. Oops, we're going to also do the Christmas quest this year at Christmas. Even though it's a little bit ahead of where we are, I would like to start incorporating those, so that'll be cool. We're going to do all the holidays from this point going forward, because over the course of this next year, we will wrap this game. So we're going to get all the classic version of the holidays. Alright, so let's, again, finish up our spreadsheet. So seeing what happens, we saw what happened. Another watcher appeared. They were like, hey, what's up? You got the wrong discs. And then the Stone Watcher we investigated, we talked, we learned a pinch. Not a lot. They basically said, we're interested in the biosphere, so the desert around them. And more information will come because and this thing that there's going to be a revisitation. Sounds fine. It sounds like an alien kind of thing, but it also sounded like they're going to be destroying life on Earth possibly if they do come and revisit. Okay, and there is another quest called A Future Task. We don't have that one yet. I might as well just pick it up. That's going to be it, and we're going to be done with this zone. That's a long one. We were one over. I was pretty close in my estimation. It is, yeah, it's a long dungeon. What are we at for record time? Even with a carry, this has taken us now 2 hours with the post. So an hour to do the dungeon, an hour to turn in the quests. That's how this one goes. All right, so back to our discussion here. Tier 3. So Tier 3, we have recently finished. Tier 3 is where the world starts to seg over. I would consider Barrens to be a transition. I would consider it partly Tier 3. But Thousand Needles is the first real one that is full Tier 3. In that time, that's because the end of it is just so that the Shimmering Flats is almost more a Tanaris adjacent. It's like a buffer zone trying to get you. It's Tier 4 difficulty level is what it really is. So that one little pocket of the Shivering Flats, it's like a hybrid between Tier 3 and Tier 4. So a strong argument can be made to save Thousand Needles for the end, but I mean none of them are really great. I would make the argument that that tier is the hardest of the tiers because there are more jam-packed dungeons, and I think they assume more leveling will happen quicker. And if you're playing very thoroughly, the cap levels of each area are. I think they're trying to really promote you to travel around the world and not get married down into one zone. So if you want to play in the weird way I do, it's really difficult. Right after Thousand Needles, we also will run Razorfen Crawl and then Nomergon. So that's between doing all those things, then you start to get ahead of the curve. Deathless is a zone we semi-recently finished, and we follow that up with All Wings of Scarlet Monastery and Razorfen Downs. Then Alterac Mountains is a small, short zone. It's really an extension of Hillspread Foothills. I missed Hillspread Foothills. Somewhere in here. Oh, I just skipped that. I did, actually. I jumped over that. When I was in Tier 2, I jumped over because I jumped to the Barrens, but then that made me stop. Oh, you know what? That's what I did. I messed this all up. So, this is Tier 2. And Tier 3 is, so this is Tier 4. I missed a tier. We'll have to talk about that later. I'm not going to do it. I'll do it another time. We'll review this in one of our other episodes where we get stuck just flying. But when I said that Thousand Needles, I did a huge jump. I actually skipped the entire third tier. I thought that seemed a little bit quick. So we are currently running Tier 5. We are now halfway done with it now that we've finished Badlands and Uldaman. In the next week and a half, we'll be. By the time we hit New Year's, we'll be done fully with Tier 5. And then there are 3 tiers. So there are 8 total tiers in the game, just as a frame of reference. And I think that we're on track. So it's taken us about 9 months to get through 5 of the 8. So we're about 62. It will have taken us that long. 62, 65. Yeah, somewhere around there. A little bit less than 2/3. Welcome back, Leakin Soul. Were you able to use the disc to your advantage, or was it for naught?
You were missing some discs. Interestingly enough, it seems that the discs of Norganon are only parts of the complete set, like keys on a keyring, if you will. If we can find the plates of Uldum, then we could actually access the Uldum complex itself. I don't know whether to be excited by that prospect or be terrified. We may need to risk everything to ensure that those secrets the Earth keeps, which would destroy us all, remain just that. Secrets. Well, adventurer, we seem to be at an unfortunate impasse. We know what we need, the plates of Uldum, but we have no idea where they might be. We will research this and then devise a solid plan of attack. I have a couple ideas where to start looking. I have high hopes that soon we'll be asking you to rejoin our efforts to discover the truth. Sage Truthseeker needs to be informed on this, adventurer. No doubt he also wants to thank you personally for once again heeding the call.
Heed the call. So if you look, though, we're getting pretty good. You know, half these quests, it's like 470 XP, and then half of them, it's 4,700, and we're just running around talking. So doing this whole chain is adding on a solid 20 to 30,000 extra XP just for running around. Nothing to sneeze at. And each step here, we've been getting some chunks of gold and stuff like that, and some 14 slot bag. Like, there's some good rewards. It's definitely worth finishing Uldaman, and we got a pretty cool hammer too.
We're all in agreement. The best course of action is to wait until we can narrow down the areas where these plates might lie hidden. You've brought us this far, adventurer, and I hope you will be the one to head back into the field to confront the secrets of Uldum. Allow me to give you this honorarium in the meantime. This should cover any expenses you've encountered in assisting us, and a little something extra. Be sure to check back with us soon. Uldum beckons us all, young one.
All right, guys, so that's it. We have done it. We have another dungeon in the pipe, 5x5. Another episode and a full another region in the pipe, 5x5. I thank you, everybody, so much for watching, for listening, for tuning in, and I will see all of you next time on the Lore of Warcraft.